Good evening. It's Tuesday, October 29th, 5 p.m. We are welcome to Council Chambers. I'm going to be calling this meeting to order at 5 p.m. We're going to start with a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Moving on to the land acknowledgement. The municipality of Port Hope exists on the lands of the Mississauga and Anishinaabe traditional territory covered by the Williams Treaties. We honor and recognize First Peoples as rights holders and stewards of the lands and waters in which we have the privilege to live, work, and play, including the Ganaraska Forest and River. We pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging. We commit to actions towards truth and reconciliation by recognizing the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, strengthening ties with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, especially those who make their home in Port Hope, and learning from Indigenous ways of knowing and being. We do so by recognizing the past and working towards a shared future. Before we begin our closed session, I want to ask if anybody has any pecuniary interest that they want to disclose. Okay, seeing none. I also want before we go into close, I want to provide, I'm going to actually ask the CAO to provide some updates related to ongoing planning and development matters, especially because we haven't had a director in place for the last short while, and I just was wondering if you might be able to give us some updates on a number of different projects and initiatives ranging from George Hamilton School to Shooter Street to any other land inventory updates or any other municipal lands that are being considered for projects. So if I could just turn that over to you for an update. CAO.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. As Council is aware, the land inventory project is well underway. The final draft is in the hands of the senior leadership team for final review and comment, with the hopes that it'll be in your hands for consideration for approval prior to year end for sure. There's lots of goodness within that report. It was exceptionally well done. The staff members that participated throughout that process, as well as the consultant that guided it, was a great combination, and it'll show in the result. Outside of that land inventory project, Council has identified a few parcels of land. So 26 Shooter Street, the RFP is completed. It is sitting in draft form, and the hope will be to have that released in due course, but at least the draft RFP has been completed. The matrix portion of it is the most complicated piece, as you can imagine. So there needs to be some additional care and attention given to that scoring matrix to ensure that apples to apples, we're able to take a look at those properties and be able to compare them appropriately and fairly. Moving along to George Hamilton School, a staff report will be forthcoming in order for Council to make a decision and consider exactly the future of that property. There's some considerations to take into account, considering it is a current training facility for Port Hope Police and what that looks like for them. So the staff report will encompass all of those facets, and Council will be able to make a decision with that moving forward. When it comes to, is there any other properties?
Just other potential municipal properties and projects moving forward.
The only other piece of property that is currently on staff's radar that is sitting outside of the land inventory project would be 41 Yonge Street. 41 Yonge Street staff is currently working through the community engagement process, what that looks like and how that's going to be presented as per council direction that was received some time ago. Reviewing that motion, first step was for staff to take a look at the community consultation process prior to the formal planning application process. So that is, I would suggest, imminent.
Okay, thank you for that. Any further questions from the table? Yes, Councillor Less.
Considering we don't have anybody interested in George Hamilton currently, can we give some assurance to the police for how long they can use that facility? Because to move them out without giving them due notice would be a bit of a hardship.
I have no gauge on interest in the property until it's actually, council makes a decision on how we're declaring the asset surplus and then following through the disposition and how that asset's going to be disposed of. So until it goes, if it goes to market, if council wishes to put it out to an RFP, whatever that process looks like, that's when we would be able to gauge what the appropriate interest is. I know staff have spoken to the police chief, and he has asked for 6 months' notice.
Thank you for that. Any other questions from the table? I have just one in terms of when can we expect a staff report on George Hamilton?
Prior to the end of the year.
Any other questions around the other two properties from any members of council? Okay, thank you for that. I just get a mover and seconder just to accept that verbal update from the CAO. Moved by Councillor Adams, seconded by Councillor Darrell, and all in favor. And that is passed. So now we're going to move on to item number 3, our closed session. Today we will be proceeding in closed session in accordance with the Municipal Act to address a matter pertaining to personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, Section 239(2)(b). This is in relation to a confidential personnel matter. Can I get a mover and seconder for that? Moved by Councillor Todd, seconded by Councillor Darrell. All in favor? And that is passed unanimously. So we're going to just wait now and go into closed. Thank you. We're going to continue on to item number 4, business arising from closed session. Earlier today, council passed a motion to proceed into a closed session to consider business as permitted under the Municipal Act and as listed on today's meeting agenda. The motion was passed in a public session, streamed live, and in accordance with our closed meeting policy. In the continuing interest of transparency, I can report at this open meeting the outcomes from today's closed session. Council approved the in-camera minutes from August 6, 2024, and the special in-camera minutes of September 9th, 2024. That is the last time that council met in closed session. Council received update and information from the CAO pertaining to personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, Section 239(2)(b), and council provided direction to staff. Can I please get a mover and seconder to receive the confidential personnel matter update and direction to staff as information? Councillor Less, seconded by Councillor Todd. All in favor? That is passed unanimously. Moving on to item number 5, confirmatory bylaw 5.165/2024. Confirm the proceedings of the special council meeting of October 29th, 2024. Can I get a mover and seconder for the confirmatory bylaw? Councillor Todd is the mover and the seconder, Councillor Less. All in favor? And that is passed unanimously. I'm now in a position to adjourn the meeting. It's 6:41 p.m. Thank you.